Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Glenn here. So, obviously, today is not Monday when I usually upload my videos. I had some stuff going on this weekend, which I'm going to be talking about in this video, but I missed my usual deadline. But still wanted to get something up this week just to be in the consistency of getting up a weekly upload. And, sometimes things don't always work out as smoothly as we want them to, but we sort of keep moving on, which, once again, is something I wanted to talk a little bit about today. So, for anyone who's been watching my channel for a while, and I don't think this video had a lot of views back then, but I made a video, I think pretty early on at the start of 2022 about burnout, about, what the experience is like, ways to prevent it, how to deal with it while you're going through it, and ways to respect it. And that's a little bit about what I've been exhibiting again recently. And I wanted to make a video that was something of an addendum to that video I made before. So, as I mentioned, obviously I didn't get this video up on Monday, mainly because I had a lot of life stuff going on. And, sometimes it takes its toll on my motivation and my productivity. So, two main things, just a quick life update here, tell you about what's been going on, BTS here. First of all, I've been working on cutting back on my caffeine intake. So, I've been pretty much, not always addicted, but pretty habitually using soda and diet soda ever since I was a kid, like a lot of other people, in America. And it really became a crutch for me, especially in recent years. I'd cut out regular soda and started drinking diet almost exclusively a couple years ago. But even then, I was starting to drink more and more cans a day, to the point where, it could take like 2 or 3 cans of Diet Mountain Dew just for me to be affable going throughout my day. And I decided, with some of the other work I've been doing this year, that I wanted to get to a point where I didn't need that anymore. And so I started cutting it out, and I've been drinking some of these, some bubblies with caffeine, some other sparkling waters with that. And that's been helping me to take the edge off. But still, I was used to drinking so much that these last 2 weeks, it's been about 2 weeks since I cut it out entirely, the soda, but not the sparkling water. And I've been feeling the withdrawal symptoms. I've just been more tired. My stamina hasn't been as great. My motivation's been lower, and I've been sleeping a lot more during the day. So these last couple weeks especially have not been getting as much done as I normally would have liked. And that was part of the reason why I did not get something organized and put together for Monday morning. Secondly, going on in my life, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the channel before, but I've been practicing martial arts for a good portion of my adult life, and I've got a big a belt test coming up at my school in about a month or so. And it's quite a process. My instructor really likes to make sure that people are earning it, make sure that people are putting in the work, actually learning stuff, and really leveling up their game as they move forward. And so I've been spending a lot of time at the studio. I've got some homework to do on that. Just been training a lot. And it's pretty warm here in Michigan nowadays, and I've always been kind of a wimp when it comes to the heat, especially the humidity, growing up in West Michigan my whole life. So doing a lot of work, going to multiple classes a day at the studio, doing martial arts, throwing people around while it's also hot, while I'm also cutting back on my caffeine intake, has really left me feeling pretty worn out lately. So that's basically what my life's been looking like the last couple weeks. And then I'm also going to Los Angeles in a couple days, so, getting a little antsy about that, and getting ready to, head out of town for a couple days. So a lot of stuff going on in life. And getting back to the video I talked about half a year ago, exhibiting a little bit of a burnout lately. I woke up this morning and I felt like I'd just been hit by a truck after training at the studio, martial arts studio, for the last 3 days, multiple hours a day, on top of cutting back on soda, on top of trying to, stay on top of work, trying to do all the other things I do as an adult to keep my life running. And, it takes a toll. And I realize sometimes, to some degree, that is inevitable in life. I mean, as much as we might try to plan things out, have a good daily schedule, get the right amount of sleep, and do all the things we're supposed to do to keep us functioning optimally. I mean, even if you manage to do that stuff, and I could certainly improve on my own routines, it can be hard when a lot of life situations come your way. I mean, it's not always smooth sailing where your life or your weeks go about predictably as they typically would. Sometimes maybe you're moving to a new house, maybe you're starting a new family, maybe you got a new kid, maybe you got some financial struggles, or maybe, kind of like some of my previous jobs, maybe some of the work is seasonal. Like if you're an accountant, during tax season, you're going to be spending a lot more time at the office during those weeks than you would during the rest of the year. And so sometimes, the best laid plans, you can do everything you want to and still find yourself in a situation where you're having to exert more energy and end up more tired than you typically would be. And a certain degree of that is just not totally avoidable. And that's kind of what I've been dealing with in my situation. And coming to terms with that, I like to be the kind of guy who always has control over my life, who's got things fairly structured and organized. And so I can just kind of flow through my day, ideally. But like I said, sometimes things don't work out that way. And a big part of dealing with that extra expensive energy, dealing with burnout, shall we say, is just learning to be cool with that and accept that and understand, hey, okay, this is a situation where I've got a lot of stuff going on, more than I usually have going on, and it's understandable why, given these circumstances, I wouldn't be feeling as motivated, or I'd be feeling more tired nowadays than I typically would be. And that's okay. We're humans. We need to expend energy in order to accomplish things. And if we do more things, we expend more energy. And it doesn't help you to get frustrated about how tired you are, which is how I've often exhibited things, which only adds to my problems. If anybody's grown up with mental health stuff and you start getting anxious about something, but then you judge yourself for being anxious about it, so you started getting anxious about your anxiety, and then it just compounds. And that's a beautiful storm for really, having your mind space and life spiral out of control. So, like I said, a lot of it's just learning how to be at peace with the fact that life can be difficult during different seasons. And that's what I'm having to learn right now. Maybe I can't upload as much. Maybe it's getting harder to upload as much YouTube video stuff as I would like, as to do other things or spend more time at the gym when I'm already, pretty burned out. And I'm not able to do all the things that I would like to, but, that's okay. You have to respect the work that you are doing. And sometimes I get so focused thinking about the stuff that's not getting done that I would normally like to get done on a typical day, that I don't necessarily respect the value of what I'm actually accomplishing or what you're doing. Like, chances are, if you're feeling burnt out on something, you're putting a lot of work in. You're really doing a lot of stuff. And you have to at least give yourself some credit for putting in the effort at something, even if you're feeling burnt out, even if it's not going as well as you would like it to. You have to pat yourself on the back a little bit just for being willing to take on that burden, to really take on that challenge. Like if you're starting a family or something, I'm not a parent. I don't have a lot of direct experience and that sort of thing. But if you got a new kid, you're not sleeping as much. It's a whole adjustment to your life. And you acknowledge hey, yeah, I'm not as motivated or focused when I'm at the office and not sleeping as well. But dang, dude, you had a kid. You had a freaking human life introduced into your environment. And that's a pretty big dang deal. And that's something to really acknowledge and be yeah, this is cool. It's hard, but you really got to give yourself some credit for stepping up and taking on that responsibility. And I guess that's what I'm trying to think about right now. I've been, addicted and habitually using soda for more than half my life, about as far back as I can remember, especially since I was in my teenage years, and now at 32 to really be making some serious efforts to cut that back. I mean, yeah, maybe I'm tired, but this is, I think, something worth doing and something that I should feel good about myself for trying to take on after all these years, along with all the other things that I'm trying to accomplish. So, yeah, I think a big part of it is understanding that you're going to be tired when you do things that you're not normally used to doing, and learning to appreciate the value and appreciate your own efforts for doing some of those things. Because if you're already beating yourself up for doing the work, it doesn't help you to also beat yourself up for not being as energetic as you would otherwise like to be. So I think those are my two main thoughts about that subject today. And I'll probably end it there because this video is already starting to push 10 minutes and I felt I could still talk for a while. So thanks for hanging in with me, guys. I would love to get back to a more regular routine with putting up YouTube videos, continuing to heighten my editing abilities and putting scripts and editing and stuff together, which I'm really enjoying. It's been a fun process. I just want to make sure I've got the time and energy to actually put forth into doing that. And like I said, going to Los Angeles this weekend, so not going to have a lot of time to put stuff together there, but hopefully once I get back there, I'll be maybe 3 or 4 weeks since giving up soda from that point, and feel a little more energized and even keel, and getting right back on the horse and doing what we can. So once again, appreciate you guys tuning in. Sorry I don't have more stuff to talk about or, better production to bring you guys, but I still wanted to put up something, just be like, okay, I'm still here. I'm still putting stuff out there, taking a little step back in order to take another step forward, but that's just what life is. And as always, thanks for staying part of the conversation. Appreciate you guys, and I will come up with a video for you next week. Hope you have a fantastic week. Take care. God bless.